So if you take a look at the folder in front of you, you will see many facts that are enlightening about our current situation.
Hi everybody, it's me, Justin. It's time for iHearIC Radio on KRUI 89.7. You can stream it online at krui.fm also if you want. This show is about local talent, local musicians, local writers, local dancers, local artists of all shapes and sizes. We feature their work here. And today I have two such artists in the studio with me. These are how would you describe yourselves? A pop duo? Does that work?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. This is the pop duo, Boy Crazy. Would you like to introduce yourselves by name?
Sure, my name is Stella Hart, and I sing and play rhythm guitar for Boy Crazy, the pop rock duo.
Great.
And my name is Addison Bentrell, and I play guitar.
Yes. Thank you guys for coming back. If you're a regular listener to this program, you may recognize these two from our 20th episode a few weeks ago. I guess like 2 months ago now at this point.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, but they were part of that lineup, which was a crowded room. It was a good time. So what have you guys been up to since then?
Performance-wise, literally nothing.
Well,
so
you played
That's not quite true.
last weekend. You've had a few performances, actually.
Yeah.
Not with this group, but...
As a duo, we exclusively perform at iHearIC shows.
And events.
And events. Personally, I was playing last weekend with the legendary Temptations. They have one original member still left in the group, and then they tour all over the country with their rhythm section. And then I was playing in the horn section, so that was a bunch of local to Iowa musicians playing saxophone. We had a saxophone section, trumpets and trombones as well. So it was a lot of fun. They were all very nice, and the costumes were really cool. And we had a super
Did you say their whole staff was wearing suits?
Everyone,
Everyone that travels with them is wearing
everyone,
a
their
uniform.
managers, I assume. Everyone looked incredibly fly.
Nice.
They gave you Fiji water too, right?
Oh yeah, so it was really hot on stage. We were and we were in all black, and so we were getting really hot, and so they passed out bottled water, and it was Fiji water, which, as you may know, is expensive water.
Yeah, that's high class stuff.
Yeah, that's what they said. This is the Temptations. We only do it classy. So they were passing out delicious water from the springs of Fiji.
Mm-hmm. They got to import it, so it's at a premium.
I read a think piece about how exploitative it is to bottle that water, but it is delicious.
It's literally from Fiji.
I
it's not just branding.
From someone's bathtub. Yeah.
We should start our own bottled water company from our
just
bathtub
rebottling
tap,
Iowa City water. Yeah.
Fuju. Yeah, but then the week before that, I'm in an all-women jazz band, and we played at the Dorian Music Camp up at Luther College in Decorah. Mm-hmm. And that was really cool. It was for an audience of middle schoolers, and I'd say they're probably the most appreciative audience we've had so far, and we've performed a few times. They had just listened to a lecture on concert etiquette and how to be an appreciative audience. So they clapped in all the right places, and they were super into it. So that was a ton of fun.
That's good. I don't know if you want me to bring this up on air, but you posted something about women in jazz, especially in Iowa, since that's what we've experienced. So how many girls were in that audience of middle schoolers, do you think? Well, the Dorian Festival is not specifically jazz oriented, right?
No,
Okay.
It's for all sorts of young musicians and young artists. So there are some, orchestral instrumentalists and vocalists, but I think, and in my experience too, I mean, it's anecdotal, but at the middle school level, I think it's pretty evenly split between boys and girls. And then something kind of happens, I feel like, in high school, especially
even after high school too. I feel
college.
High school especially like filters them out. Yeah,
especially through jazz. And that's something that I've kind of been struggling to wrap my head around. Why is that the case?
Do you think it's because like there's like fewer opportunities? Because there's usually just one or two jazz bands, and if you don't get in the jazz band,
I don't know, because the thing is, I think there are a lot of fine young women musicians, and I don't know if it, personally, I mean, I can only speak to my experience. I had really encouraging music teachers, and my parents are both musicians too.
Yeah.
So like, I've always had that support, and I always had a woman role model, my mom,
right.
also a roommate, encouraging me and getting me out, and connecting me. A lot of playing music professionally, it's a crummy concept, but part of it is like networking. You have to know the right people
absolutely.
to get the right gigs and that sort of thing. So I don't know, like for the Temptations, I was the only woman in the band.
And that was a pretty big horn section, right?
Yeah, that was a full sax section, and
like 3 trumpets, 2 bones.
Yeah. And
so that's like roughly 10 people.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing is, one of the musicians, the guy who's playing lead alto, John Morgan, who's a fine saxophonist in the Des Moines area, he told me that 20 years ago, the Temptations had come through Iowa, and he'd played with the band then. And my mom had been in the sax section, and she had been the only woman in the band at that time. And so he says to me, I guess, you're the girl in the band now.
Yeah.
20 years later, we can only have one.
You fill the role of girl. They have a quota, but it's only of one.
The token girl. So I don't know. I think the talent is there. I honestly do. I think there are, if you look at the all-women jazz band of Iowa, there are so many fine women musicians of all ages who live in the state, but for some reason they're not being called for the gigs. I think, I don't know, I can't really speak to the jazz programs around the state, but I feel like there's some kind of disconnect between getting young women involved and making it a comfortable space for them. And I could also talk, for 10 minutes about the professional and then educational situations I've been in where I've encountered like sexism and outright misogyny, and it's made me be like, this isn't a fun place to be. And for every story of that, of course, I have like 100 other stories of having a blast and meeting cool musicians who like are some of the best people you'll ever meet. But yeah, it's something. I posted that on Facebook, Justin, you're right. And I was interested in the response that I got. There were a lot of...
I read a few comments, but I didn't go through the whole thing. So basically what you were asking is just like, why is there such a gap in women involved in jazz? Getting jazz paid gigs and such. Exactly.
And I think the question kind of devolved, or the comments kind of devolved into, well, like, are there women role models? And if you think about like jazz at large, like when you think about the greats of jazz canon, you think of, they're all dudes.
Other than like vocalists.
Exactly.
People don't think of women immediately.
Yeah. And it wasn't really until, I took a jazz history class in college and found out about women musicians, or women composers. Like, I knew of Maria Schneider, and Mary Lou Williams, and Melba Liston, famous trombone player. But
they're not as well known.
No.
So
it's a male-dominated space for sure.
Yeah, it's something for men to aspire to.
Yeah.
And not you guys. Which sax were you playing for the Temptations? Just on a lighter note.
Yeah, I was on alto sax.
All right.
So,
cool.
I love to play alto. In the women jazz band, I play Barry, which is such like a deep, powerful, resonant instrument. I love playing Barry so much. And with Boy Crazy, I've played soprano saxophone, which is such
I played that on the show.
Yeah. Such a great nasal sound when you want to cut through and really make yourself heard.
Yeah, on Friday night I was subbing. Do you know Ryan Smith, the saxophonist?
I'm not sure if I do.
He lives here in Iowa City, and he plays for Theater Cedar Rapids a lot in the pit. And I was subbing for him on Friday, and the book calls for oboe, and neither of us can really do that. I mean, he might be able to play oboe, but I've never even tried. So we were just playing those parts on soprano because it's just as nasal, and yeah, it sounds great.
Right?
Yeah. So you guys, you're holding guitars. I guess the listeners can't see that, so I figure I better tell them that you have guitars here. Did you guys want to maybe play a song for us?
Yeah, we would love
Sure.
to.
Yeah.
So the first song that we'd like to play, this is a new one.
Well, new to us.
Right, you didn't write it, right?
It's a very old. It's a song from like the 70s, I want to say, by the one and only Kenny Rogers, American Songsmith.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a song that I really, the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, that is a time capsule of the year it was written. So it's a song that I feel brings up a lot of weird feelings, so it makes it one of my favorite songs because it's dark and very specific and a little bit country, and I think the lyrics stand for themselves. It's been covered by Cake and also The Killers.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've heard either of those covers, but
yeah,
I'll check them out later.
And now by Boy Crazy.
Yes.
You ready?
You painted up your lips and rolled and curled your tinted hair. Really, are you contemplating going out somewhere? The shadows on the wall tell me the sun is going down. Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town. It wasn't me that started that old crazy Asian war. I was proud to go and do my patriotic chore. Yes, it's true that I'm not the man I used to be. Oh, Ruby, I still need some company. It's hard to love a man whose legs are bent and paralyzed, and the wants and the needs of a woman your age, Ruby, I realize. But it won't be long, I heard them say, till I'm not around. Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town. She's leaving now, 'cause I just heard the slamming of the door. The way I know I've heard it slam 100 times before. And if I could, I'd get my gun and put her in the ground. Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town. For God's sake, turn around.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, and we are back. This is iHearIC Radio. My name's Justin. In the studio today, I have Boy Crazy. And before that, Flood PSA, you heard them play the song Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. While they were playing it, I looked up the details on that. That was composed by Mel Tillis, originally performed by Johnny Darrell? I don't know the full history of this stuff, so I'm learning.
Me neither.
And the original recording was released in 1967, but the one that everybody knows is by Kenny Rogers. That's why you guys played it, and that came out in 1969.
But it's so fascinating to me because here you have an intersection of a Vietnam veteran who was disabled and like lost the use of his legs, and so like is confronting the loss of his sexuality, and then on top of that, his wife is cheating on him, and then at the very end, he says that he wants to murder her.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think it's an interesting song, and I think there's a weird dichotomy between how pretty the song is and how violent it is. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot to unpack in that knapsack.
Yeah. I like songs like that where it's all like a major key, just like a very pleasant chord progression, but the lyrics are all like, yeah, I'm going to murder my wife because she doesn't, satisfy me. She does what she wants. And I just can't have that. No. I mean, and I also like in the first verse how he talks about how she's putting on makeup and how her hair is dyed. It's a song that really sounds like he really hates women. Yeah. It's not just her that's the problem. It's the entire sex, the entire gender.
Yeah.
He can't abide by. I have one quick correction.
Oh, sure.
The original recording actually was Waylon Jennings in 1966.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's been recorded several times. The two covers you mentioned earlier also. Yeah, very, very well covered song. There's also a Leonard Nimoy cover, apparently.
You're kidding.
Yeah, we got to check that out, I think. So what should we talk about before I have to do the weather in 10 minutes or so?
Well, we can't talk about the weather.
No, we got to save that for the weather report.
I remember. Do you remember Justin and I, little backstory, went to high school together?
Yeah.
And I remember our good friend David used to tell us that he was studying the arts of small talk. And weather was always, you can always talk about the weather.
Yeah. It's that's the go-to. It's like, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
It's hot out.
Some weather we're having.
Yeah. Speaking of high school, how long do you think we've known each other in years?
So we probably
It was like
met
2004, right?
2004, yeah.
So that would be 14 years. Coming up on 14 years.
bonkers.
Yeah. Oh, I did think of a question I wanted to ask you earlier. So we just passed our 10-year graduation, right?
Yeah.
We graduated high school 10 years ago.
Yeah.
First question, is there a reunion? Second question, have you seen an invitation?
I feel like the class of 2008 of Cedar Rapids, Washington High School is never going to get it together because I remember they tried to do like a 5-year reunion and I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not answering your question. But no, I've not received an invitation.
I didn't know if they were just like
I'm
freezing
sure there'll
me
be
out.
something on Facebook for it, right?
Well, you would
There was
think,
for the 5-year.
Yeah.
You would think, but it devolved into a lot of infighting. People were pretty
People want to bring their
upset.
kids.
Yeah, some people have kids, and so
It was at a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I skipped it, but
I
skipped
didn't
mine
go.
as well.
the 10, I want to go to the 10 though, because I feel like that's a long enough time.
Yeah.
People will not remember what I was like then, maybe, and will approach me with new eyes.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, what is the best case scenario for when you go to a high school reunion? People see you and they're like, they probably want to think you've improved though.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would definitely want them to remember where I was in high school and then be like,
look how much better I am now.
yeah.
Honestly, I just want to like be a fly on the wall and just people watch the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
great.
sort of
Yeah.
hang back.
Yeah.
More of an observer than a participant. Yeah. I don't know. Are there? We should name names. Are there any people that you would love to see again that you haven't? First and last names.
Addresses.
Yeah. Do you remember that one kid who really sucked?
Yeah. Brian Davidson. That's not a real person.
Oh,
everybody.
man.
Or if
Yeah.
it is, I'm sorry. I didn't actually meet you back then.
Yeah.
Did you have a big class? It probably could have been.
It was a pretty big class.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we like?
I think we graduated around 350
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
So I
There
remember.
could have been a Brian Davidson in that.
There may have been. If you're out there, Brian, I apologize.
Sorry, bra guy. Yeah, no, I remember. I thought I knew everyone in our class pretty well, and then on the day we graduated, the people next to me, I had no idea.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
they
yeah.
were.
I
All the
didn't,
names
didn't
list
know
off.
it.
Yeah.
Was your ceremony at the high school, or did you do it somewhere else?
No, it was at the Five Seasons Center.
U.S. Cellular Center.
Was it renamed
maybe.
before then?
I think it might have just
I don't know.
been.
I don't like naming buildings after corporations, so
Yeah, no, Five Seasons Center is a lot more.
What is
nonsensical.
the
Yeah.
fifth season? It's time to enjoy the other seasons, right?
I think that is the
Yeah.
official explanation, yes. Cedar Rapids has 5 seasons, the fifth one being just enjoying the other ones. Season of enjoying the real seasons.
Yeah.
Makes so much
An
sense.
en masse feeling of enjoyment that every citizen. Have you? So it wasn't until I started hanging out with Addison that I became familiar with the phrase Cedar Reptilian
Oh,
to
really?
describe Cedar Rapidians.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
In Des Moines. So when I was like moving
Okay.
from Des Moines to Cedar Rapids, they'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna be a Cedar Reptilian."
I like that.
I do too.
Is it derisive or is it cool to be a reptilian?
It just depends on how you think of reptiles, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
Cold blooded.
Yep, always gotta lay in the sun or we'll die. That's how I think of Cedar Rapidians.
Yeah, gotta lay in the sun,
So
enjoying
that's why
those
they're
seasons.
always laying on the side of the road.
The Frozen.
Yeah.
Speaking of high school, maybe we should talk about what we used to do musically.
Yeah.
Because you're in a similar situation now, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I replaced you with.
Yeah. We were not in
best.
we were not in a relationship. It was different.
No, let's be very clear.
Yeah, no. We have a strictly platonic situation and always have.
Platonic, heterosexual.
It was probably a
soulmates.
little pentatonic, though.
A little platonic.
Yep, definitely. I play lots of blues scales.
2 Cedar Reptilians, just trying to make it. Yeah, so we met actually, going back to how we met 14 years ago, which was half our lives ago, I'm
Yeah,
realizing. We met in 9th grade band, sat next to each other playing saxophone, and
Concert band?
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the 9th graders had their own band.
We had a separate one because everyone else was doing marching band
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how our band was.
Yeah, so I saw Justin and immediately said, I want to be best friends with this person. He's really
Did you have
cool.
long hair back then?
It was kind of mullety at the time.
Yeah.
That was the look.
It wasn't super long, but it was a
Every-
little shaggy.
Every boy in 2004, every cool boy had like that shaggy
It had like a bowl cut. It was just like
Grown out.
all.
Yeah,
Justin
nice.
Bieber.
Yeah, it was a little bit like skater hair.
Yeah.
But also like the back was a little bit longer. Because
Yeah.
that's just like how my hair grows in, I guess. The back goes a little faster at first. I naturally grow a mullet.
For those of you out in Radioland who've never seen Justin, he has very long hair now.
It's pretty
Beautiful
long.
hair.
Yeah, I haven't cut it in about 3 years, so.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I just felt like I didn't want to anymore, so I stopped. Yeah, I don't know if
That's a
other
great reason.
people do that, but but I didn't want to deal with cutting my hair anymore, so I don't.
Do you get hot in the summer or is it mostly up in a ponytail?
As long as I keep it tied up,
Yeah.
it's fine. But yeah, if it's down, my neck does sweat like crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, I digress from our musical origins.
Right.
So Justin was in a cool band, garage band, and they invited me to play with them. And we performed at some gigs at our high school. We had like a yearly Amnesty International benefit we played at most years.
Yep, that was called Jamnesty.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then I think there was some kind of talent show in the spring.
Yeah, what was that called? I know that we played in it twice, and then
Yeah.
senior year I was in like the sketch comedy troupe that was involved with that, so I couldn't perform outside of that. Man, I don't remember what that was called at all though.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that in years.
Yeah, that was a little bit higher production value than Jamnesty, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamnesty was a little grungier. Little
It was in
DIY.
Jamnesty was in the small theater, and then whatever this talent show was called that we forgot was in the larger theater. So it's a bigger audience, more stage lights. Basically, if something goes wrong there, you're done for. Whereas Jamnesty has a little more room to breathe.
Was that a talent show during like school hours, or was it after school?
No, it was in the evening.
In the evening.
We also, Justin and I performed in a couple one-act plays.
Wait, you were both in a one-act play?
Yeah. You're thinking of a
one person. Okay.
Yeah. One act.
man show.
One act cast can be whatever size you
it's
want.
like the short story of a...
I was confused. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, we did a couple plays.
Yeah, I only remember doing the one that you wrote.
Oh, yep. That's right. You know what? We only...
But you did more than that, though.
Yeah. No, that was a different play. I've told... When I was in middle school, actually, I wrote and performed in a full-length play. I think our drama director just didn't want to pay for the rights to like a real
You
show.
wrote a play in middle school?
I did.
You wrote it yourself, the whole thing? Wow.
Yeah, it was called Who Snuffed Granny. It was a murder mystery. I wrote it on a typewriter because I didn't have a computer.
Yeah.
And about halfway through the play, I realized that the murder victim, I had accidentally forgotten to like get the body off the stage. So it was just a mess. You can't go back and rewrite stuff when you're writing it on a typewriter.
Oh yeah, you'd have to like rewrite every page after that.
Yeah, it was like a stream of consciousness. I want to say Jack Kerouac-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that. But then I wrote a play in high school. It was like a dysfunctional family tragicomic.
Yeah, it was
drama.
called The True Meaning of Easter, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Were you inspired after an Easter event to write that play?
So I think sometimes I hem and haw 'cause I'm searching for the exact right word that I want to use.
Yeah.
I
do that all the time on the show, so it's fine.
The climax of the play, it takes place on Easter, and so all of the principal characters have gathered together because, like, none of us like each other and we don't get along. But what do you do on Easter? You hang out with your family. It was pretty deep and angsty for.
Was Candy involved?
No, that was a different play.
Oh yeah, there's another one with Candy. Yeah, that was like a professional had written that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that was one I found on the internet.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone out there is keeping up with our stream of consciousness.
Yeah. We've gone through 3 plays now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Who Snuffed Granny because I somehow never knew about this, even though we like wrote stuff together all the time.
We did.
Do you still have the script for that?
I don't.
Somewhere?
I don't think I do.
How much do you remember?
Who did it, by the way?
So here's the twist. I hope I'm not, spoiler alert.
Well,
y'all.
we should try to like do a new production from your fragmented memory of the show.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. The cool thing about the show was that my brother Roland wrote like incidental music and like a main theme, and so there was like a pit orchestra of middle school musicians in the front who would play. I remember
that's so cool.
That's a lot for middle school.
Right? No, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember.
Do you know if you have like a recording of it or anything?
I honestly don't think that it exists. I think it's been lost to history.
Dang.
That's really too bad.
Yeah.
But who snuffed Granny?
So that's the big twist, is that there are multiple killers. And so throughout the play, they're sussing that out.
Wait, so how did Grammy like come back to life, or did they all kill her?
Oh, she was killed more than once.
She was killed simultaneously by like 3 or 4 different murderers.
Wow.
So
she had a target on her back.
Yeah, exactly, and a knife as well. So she goes with her 2 grandsons into a restaurant during like a freak snowstorm, and the power goes out. And P.S. this play was set in West Virginia so that we could all do like annoying middle school Iowa versions of what Southern accents were.
Nice.
So offensive. Yeah, so she goes with her grandsons into this restaurant. Power goes out and they're snowed in. And while the power is out, Grandma is simultaneously stabbed, poisoned. Something else happens to her.
Dang.
Yeah, but don't worry. She returns in the second act as a ghost.
That's great.
Did you tell your grandmothers about this play?
I think one of them might have been in attendance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of snow, it's time for the weather report because it's 4:30. It's mostly sunny, as we can see out the window here at the KRUI studio. The current temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 83 degrees Fahrenheit. There's 0% precipitation, 62% humidity, and wind at 11 miles per hour coming from the southeast, or going towards the southeast. How does the wind report work? Do you guys know? I ask every guest this.
I remember we talked about it last time.
We did, yeah. Even with that many people, we didn't reach a consensus.
Still not any closer to the...
I mean, I'm pretty sure it means that it's coming from the southeast.
Yeah.
But
I would agree.
If anyone is listening and can clear this up for us, that number is...
Oh, yeah. We do have a phone number. It's 319-335-8970. If you would like to tell me how the wind part of a weather report works, I'd be happy to find out, but I probably still will pretend I don't know on the show for the sake
think about
of
like the history
running
of that.
gag.
It's like there used to, I forgot the term for it, but that thing that goes with the direction of the wind.
Weather vanes.
A weather
right?
vane,
Mhm.
yeah. And the weather vane can only point to the direction when it's coming from like
The opposite. That's right.
How does
So-
the wind work?
it's probably
Well, yeah, you're right. Anyway, you guys have another song that we can hear?
Yeah.
We can play. This song is called Frankenstein Way. Is that what it's called?
Over
That's
at
what
the
I always-
Frankenstein place.
I always get confused.
That's from Rocky Horror, right?
Yeah, so this is my favorite song from my favorite movie.
One time we watched this movie in your backyard, projected onto your garage.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Gosh, so many memories. That's what 14 years of friendship gets you.
Yep, you watch a movie.
And the story of our musical endeavors continues after.
Yeah, we can keep talking, for sure.
Start it off.
In the velvet darkness of the blackest night, burning bright, there's a guiding star. No matter what or who you are, there's a light over at the Frankenstein place. There's a light
Yeah, awesome. That was Boy Crazy playing the song Over at the Frankenstein Place, made famous by the musical The Rocky Horror Show. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. We've all seen that movie, right? Composed by Richard O'Brien and Richard Hartley, released in 1975. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's one of your favorite movies, right, Stella?
It's a great movie. I've always, so at the Angler here in Iowa City, they always play it on Halloween night at midnight.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to make it to a showing.
I've never...
People usually dress up for those, too.
Yeah, they go all out for those things. I've never actually been to a Rocky Horror midnight showing or whatever, but there's a lot of, like, tradition involved.
Yeah.
People, like, yell certain things at certain points in the movie.
You have to throw stuff at the
Right.
screen at
Yeah,
one
yeah.
point.
I'll have to do some research if we do go.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught with your pants down.
Well,
proverbially.
Especially in the theater.
well, here's the thing, though. Some of the characters are just wearing their underwear, so
That's true.
you may want to be caught with your pants down, but...
Or gone completely. Not around your ankles, but at home still, without you. Yeah, so that's the third song from Rocky Horror.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I don't think Addison's seen it, actually.
I've seen parts.
Oh, really?
Watched it with.
Yeah, the Meatloaf stuff is the best.
Meatloaf stuff is pretty good.
Yeah. Have you seen the Meatloaf sections of the movie? I'm talking about Meatloaf the guy, not the food.
I think so. I mean, I'm familiar with, like, that's a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's his character's name? I don't know.
Eddie.
Okay, cool. That's a good character name. Very memorable.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite song from the movie?
It's a pretty good one. I love that song. Everyone loves Time Warp. That's the
of
hit.
course. Yeah.
What else is good? I'm Coming Home, when Frankenfurter realizes that Dr. Frankenfurter, realizes that his mission is a failure, and his group of aliens that he's traveled to Earth with are going to leave him and, like, have him imprisoned, and that's a really good song.
Yeah, I don't really remember that part very well. I've only seen the movie maybe twice, and it's been at least 10 years.
I guess I know what we're doing on Halloween.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do it. I do know the finale, science fiction double feature.
That's a great
That's
song.
a classic. Yeah. I like Time Warp. It's a fun song, but it's also like, it has the problem of being like one of those songs that tells you a bunch of dance moves to do, which is always annoying to me.
Yeah.
You know, cha-cha slide, Cupid
Don't
shuffle,
tell me
all
what
that
to
stuff.
do.
Yeah, I don't need instructions. Or just do it once.
Yeah.
Don't tell me over and over.
Oh, it's
So are we going to get more into our history or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those historical
How long did you guys play together in your group?
Well, our garage band lasted all through high school, I think.
Yeah, I'd say probably like 2004 to 2008.
It was a good time for
Something like
music,
that.
Yeah. And then...
And just for the record, the band is called Fallacious Zymergists.
Yes.
Named by my friend Jake Whitman. Our friend Jake
Yeah.
Whitman, sorry. When we were in 8th grade, he just sort of picked out 2 words in the dictionary, and that was the name of the band.
Stuck.
Yeah. Other members include David Clare, who has been on the show, and I've played his music on the show. Mm-hmm. And we had kind of a rotating cast of drummers, most prominently including Jordan Blue and Josh Matas.
Yeah, that's right. We had an EP released, recorded by Dylan Fixmer. Mm-hmm. And that EP was called Naked, Tawny, and Full of Wonder. I wonder if a copy is somewhere floating around in the ether.
I know I had it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still have the recordings.
I know that it used to be in the car I drove, and my dad listened to it once, and he was like, what the heck?
It's great. I play probably the worst guitar solo ever on the Fern song. Remember that?
yeah.
It's like F sharp minor
It was a
tune.
tough key.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what key it's
guitar,
in. I
yeah.
wasn't good at guitar. I just like...
Guitar's like piano. You just like slide everything around.
Yeah.
A new key.
And then that band sort of spawned a side project that was maybe a little more active. Actually.
Exactly, yeah. So I remember Justin and I took music theory together, and just thought it would be so funny. You know, when you're in high school and everything's just so hysterical. We just thought it would be so funny to do an acoustic covers of like really heavy metal, hard rock, glam rock, and hair metal songs. And so there was an open mic night at a coffee house near Kirkwood College, and we would play there pretty regularly. And then also at Blue Strawberry in downtown Cedar Rapids.
Yeah. There was a period of time where we were playing like once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were pretty active. It was a blast. And
did you have any original compositions?
Later on we did. And we played what's your song? Let's Get Naked. Yeah, we played that.
I wrote when you're 16 and you're really coming into your erotic self and you write a song, that was that.
Yeah, it was kind of a goofy song about being naked.
Yeah.
And it was sort of about like pickup lines and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I've played it on the show, actually. I have a recording of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, if you listen back, I played it in like December, I think.
So funny.
Yeah. You had a song about your dog Melba.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Which Melba song was that?
I don't think you've heard this one. It was it was her origin story.
Oh.
About how we found her.
And then you went back for her.
Yeah. And she came home with us, and she was a really good dog with a hefty appetite. So Justin and I would play a lot together, and then we would have like my brother Roland and our friends Jake and Josh and Jordan sit in with us and play real instruments. Like I remember one time Roland played upright bass with us. That was a fun show.
More than once. Yeah. A lot actually. Yeah.
That was really cool. And then other times, why don't we incorporate some dog squeak toys into this one song? Or why don't we incorporate these jingle bells? So, really playing around, very playful with auxiliary percussion and experimenting with our sound palette.
Yeah, it was a very serious project.
Yeah.
Coming into our own, learning new things.
Yeah.
I do actually, I credit that stuff for like giving me a lot of my performance chops because I improvise so much now.
Yeah.
And like most of those shows were like minimal to zero practice time.
Yeah.
So like just getting comfortable like going in front of a group of people, playing music I've maybe played once.
Yeah.
And stuff that we like didn't really know very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, getting comfortable with that was like a huge hurdle.
Oh, for
which
sure.
has like enabled me to do a lot more stuff now.
That's so cool to hear. Yeah. No, I remember, and the thing is, our performances ran the spectrum from like, we would be polished and like have rehearsed and like we would play songs repeatedly that we would really have under our belts. And then other times we would play songs and we would be like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like, have I even listened to this song before? I don't know this.
But at least, we always had, I think that's the beauty of the open mic. We always had a supportive audience. People always clapped regardless. We had...
Did you make very good tips?
We never got paid.
Pretty sure we made
$0.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should have paid those people to listen to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we continued to do that all throughout college. Like, we would come home to Cedar Rapids. Well, Justin was attending co-college in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
But we'd return home and have reunion shows.
Yeah, we did a couple of those. And then you had a similar kind of thing going on in Des Moines.
I did. I was in a trio called Van Stellenberg. Honestly, my whole life is just trying to recreate the magic of playing covers with Justin.
It's hard to recreate that because, like, at the time we had no responsibilities really. So it's like, just whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You have time to just play songs poorly and just... just hang out. Yeah It's hard to get anything like any free time now. I don't know about you guys, but me, like I've been so busy the past couple years. It's like
you really got to make time.
Yeah,
definitely. That's why I have a radio show, so I can see my friends.
So cool. No, and like it's awesome that you put this on for the community. I think it's like helps Iowa City stay weird.
I'm trying. Yeah.
All
right. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to play a Grant spot now.
Okay.
Let's see what we get.
One?
Okay.
Yeah, you guys want to prepare one while I'm playing the Grant spot, and then we'll hear it? All right.
Support for KRUI is provided in part by The Mill. The Mill has been an Iowa City institution since 1962, offering dining and delivery, and is a music venue that highlights local talent and hosts touring performers from all around the world. Upcoming shows are on their music calendar at icmill.com. The Mill also hosts special events. The Mill is located on 120 East Burlington Street in Iowa City. Reservations can be made by phone at 319-351-9529 or by emailing reservations at icmill.com.
It's the Grace song.
All right. What are you guys playing?
So we're playing another song from a movie.
Oh, okay.
The theme song to Grease.
Oh, yeah. A movie. I thought you said the movie.
The one and only.
Yeah, what movie is this from?
Grease?
What's the song called? Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw my problems and I see the light. We've got a loving thing, we've got to feed it right. There ain't no danger, we can go too far. We stop believing now that we can be who we are. Grace is the word. They say our love is just a growing pain. Why don't they understand it's just a crying shame? Their lips are lying, only real is real. We stop the fight right now. We've got to be what we feel.
Grease is the
Is the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Grease is the time, is the place, is the motion. Grease is the way we are feeling. We take the pressure and we throw away. Conventionality belongs to yesterday. There is a chance that we can make it so far. We stop believing now that we can be what we are.
Grease is the
word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Grease is the time, is the place, is the motion. Grease is the way we are feeling. This is the life of illusion, wrapped in control, laced with confusion. What we doing here? We take the pressure and we throw away. Conventionality belongs to yesterday. There is a chance that we can make it so far. We stop believing now that we can be who we are.
Grease is the
word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Grease is the time, is the place, is the motion. Grease is the way we are feeling. Grease is the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Grease is the time, is the place, is the motion. Grease is the way we are feeling. Grease is the word, is the word, is the word. I fade out.
All right. That was Boy Crazy performing the song Grease from the film of the same name. I have a little bit of information on that one.
Yeah.
Written by Barry Gibb, performed by Frankie Valli. This was written specifically for the movie. It was not part of the musical that preceded it. So it came out in 1978. And here's a weird little tidbit. It was featured twice on the film soundtrack, as the first track and the last track. And I think it's the same recording. They just put it on there twice. Why not?
It was a bombshell when it dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changed music forever. We have BG before Grease and after Grease. And that's where the people don't know that, but that's where the Bee Gees got their name.
Oh, really? Yeah. They definitely they started that group after 1978, and it was named after the concept of time beginning and ending with the song Grease.
Fact check me.
Yeah, go ahead. You can tweet at us at iHearIC if you have conflicting information on that, but I'm not going to read it on the air, so the record will stand with us.
To follow iHearIC to find out.
Yeah.
If people tweet.
Oh yeah, good idea. That'll get people to follow us for sure. Since we've been talking about high school for most of the show, were you involved in the production of Grease that was put on, I believe, in our junior year?
Actually, yeah, I was in the band.
Oh,
so I was
okay.
playing tenor sax in that performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember if you were part of that or not. I was in the cast.
That's right.
Yeah. Did not have a great time, but I was there.
Why didn't you have a great time? Can you speak to it on the radio?
Yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't my thing, really. And my hair was, like, pretty long at that point.
Yeah.
And I had to, like, gel it back to fit in with the aesthetic of the show.
Yeah.
And it was, like, a big pain because my hair is really thick and it just doesn't, like, do anything well. It just sort of sits. And so I had to, like, put piles and piles of stuff in my hair for every performance, and then it never washed out. It's still in there.
To this day.
My hair is just a little bit like gritty now.
Yeah.
I also had to wear like stage makeup, which I don't remember if I had ever done before that.
Yeah.
And like putting on mascara sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done it.
Yeah.
It's not great. Or eyeliner, that's the worst part. Yeah.
You didn't care. Well, yeah, because you have to like touch your eye and
Yeah,
stuff.
you have to like, it's like right on your eyeball. Have you ever put on eyeliner, Addison?
For a Halloween costume, I've had makeup on my face. Yeah. And I always end up touching my face and it just smears.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, eyeliner. I mean, everything else, I don't really have a problem with wearing makeup, but like eyeliner going at my eyes, that's the part that messed me up.
Have you ever tried to wear contacts?
I have not, no.
Similar concept.
Someday I'm sure I'm going to need glasses, but so far I've been lucky.
Nice.
But you can't do contacts?
I used to, but I just gave up on them. I haven't worn them in probably like 5 years at least.
I do them on special occasions. And, like, I touch my eyeballs all the time, like, to put on makeup and check that they're still there. So.
Right. Every morning.
Yeah. Oh. They're still in their sockets.
Yeah. I did steal a shirt from the wardrobe from that show that I still have and still wear every once in a while. It's like mustard yellow short sleeve button up that I still wear. Yeah.
Sounds like a good shirt.
It is nice. Yeah, it's got pockets on both breasts.
Let's for folks who aren't familiar, who aren't lucky enough to be friends with Justin on a personal basis, he has a good wardrobe. And that was part of the reason I was like, I need to be friends with this kid. I remember you had this really dope sweater. Do you remember that sweater? It like had like a high collar and like
it's a zipper.
It has a zipper
right?
on the chest that was like a big circular zipper. And then it was like a cream color with like stripes across the chest. You guys, I'm not doing this justice. Picture the best sweater, and Justin wore this sweater.
I still have
wearing it.
Just so you know.
Do you still wear it?
I do wear it sometimes, but there's like a huge hole in the armpit.
Oh no!
And the circular part of the zipper that you mentioned broke off. So the zipper, like I have to like stick my hand on the top of it and like pull it up.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's a barely functioning sweater, but it looks cool, so I still have it.
Oh man!
I think at the time we met, my style was probably like wearing button-up shirts with t-shirts over them. Very cool looking person.
Yeah.
T-shirt over the button-up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did
I've
that a
never
lot.
seen that before.
Like a long sleeve button-up and then like a Led Zeppelin t-shirt over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked super cool. Very cool 14-year-old boy, mullet. Sometimes I wore a tie.
So you guys, you can see why I knew that he was cool.
Yeah,
So like and I mean that sincerely. So my style was like, oh my gosh, the early 2000s, the turn of the century. What a horrible time for fashion. At our high school anyway, the layered look was really in. So I remember girls would wear like as many shirts as possible. So it'd be
I remember that too.
Tank top, shirt, and
Sometimes dudes would wear 2 polos.
Really?
I have seen that, yeah.
Oh boy. I remember there's this really cool girl that I looked up to, and she would roll the cuffs of her t-shirts. I thought that was like the epitome of style, and so I would do that too. I thought that was a really cool look, especially if you have multiple shirts on. Then you can really get a good roll going on your
You roll
sleeve.
each one of them individually?
You could roll them into each other.
Oh, yeah, like a big old roll.
So then it's like you have your shirt and you have the layered look going on the bottom. And then also your outer shirt is like rolled into the inner shirt for the cuff of your sleeve.
Yeah, there's just like a big donut on your arm.
Yeah.
Like you're wearing some floaties.
You guys, this is the epitome of styling back in the day. I don't even want to think about how much of my developing brain was devoted to thinking about how to roll the cuffs of my t-shirt.
All right, so we're drawn to a close here. It's almost 5. It's not content related, it's just time related. It's almost 5. You guys have one more song, right?
Yeah. We do,
okay,
yeah.
Let's save that for the very end.
Okay.
We'll close out with some music. Do you guys have anything that you need to plug before we go? Any events coming up that you want to make sure the listeners know about?
No. Well,
I think just the upcoming iHearIC gigs, the live shows that'll be coming up this fall.
Yeah, first one will be in August. We don't have the exact dates yet, but starting in August and then for the following 9 months after that. So we'll have a show every month from August through May.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I have a gig in Minnesota. I'll be playing at the Hackensack, Minnesota Jazz Festival. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Is it with your all-women jazz group?
No, it's a different group based out of the Quad Cities, the Josh Duffy Jazz Orchestra. And we played there the last few years. Hackensack, not in the summer, has population like 65 people. But it's like a nice vacation spot.
I looked it up. It's like even with Duluth. Like as far as,
geographically?
it's up there, yeah.
It's pretty far north.
Yeah. I've never been there. Hey, since you mentioned the Quad Cities, I found something out yesterday. Did you know the Quad Cities is actually 5 cities?
What?
Yeah.
So
should it be the Quint
Davenport, Bettendorf,
Rock
Island, Moline, Rockford?
No, it's East Moline.
Oh,
and here's the thing. The latest addition to the Quad Cities was actually Bettendorf. So it was originally Davenport, Rock Island, Moline, and East Moline. It was those 4.
That's fascinating.
But it's 5 now.
Those the quintuple cities?
Yeah. That just sounds dumb. So they left it at Quad.
I think it sounds pretty cool. I think we should start calling it the Quint Cities.
The Quint Cities.
All right, I'll do it if you do it.
Are East Moline and Moline like really separate?
No. I think that East Moline is just big enough that it's its own city.
It's like the West Des Moines of Des Moines.
Yeah, there's no barrier between them at all, really.
I think it's odd they call it like Quad City because like every like metropolitan has like a bunch of like suburbs around it or like other cities connected to it.
Yeah. Okay, let me get into my plugs quick before we play your last song.
Go for it.
Okay, the intro music, I didn't mention this, but that was composed by my friend Jason Palomara. It's called Let's All Go to a Boring Meeting, and that's on our latest collaborative release called Relics. You can find that at jcjp.bandcamp.com. Some events coming up on June 29th at 10 p.m. at the Garden Club. Friend of the show, Purchase, presents Machine Daydream. I'm not sure what all that will entail, but it sounds like it'll be a very cool and unique musical experience. And this is a ways off, but I figure I better start plugging it now. Saturday, July 28th at 9 p.m. at Trumpet Blossom. This is part of the Feed Me Weird Things concert series. And they're bringing in Daniel Weish. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's a guitarist and improviser out of Chicago. And I will be opening for him along with my friend David Clare. And we just had a sort of brief rehearsal yesterday at my house, so we're getting ready for that. And one more thing. If you live in or near Cedar Rapids and you're looking for twice weekly band concerts to listen to outside, check out the Cedar Rapids Municipal Band. You can find their schedule at crmuniband.org. I run sound for them, so you can say hi to me there if you want. If you're listening live, the show tonight is at Beaver Park, beginning at 7:30, and then this Wednesday, the 27th, at Johnson Steam Academy. Next week, we're going to have another radio show, July 1st at 4 p.m. here at KRUI. That will feature Joshua Johnson, who you've heard on plenty of these shows recorded, but he'll be in here live. It'll be fun. And here's a bunch of general stuff. We have a website. It's iHearIC.com. If you go to that, you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find links to our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, and brand new Stitcher pages. You can...
Are you guys on Uber yet?
Uber? How do we get on that? Start driving around.
And only playing iHearIC.
Yeah. I'm just doing this to advertise. I don't really need the money. But yeah, you can find videos from all of our live shows. You can find recordings of all of these radio shows. And you can just follow us and send stuff to us for fun. But if you'd like to contact us directly, the best way to do that is iHearIC@gmail.com. You can send us music that you want us to listen to, shows you have coming up, or any sort of proposals that you have for us. Just send us an email, and I'll try to write back within a week. All right. That's all I have to talk about. What song are you guys going to play to close the show today?
So this is Your Love by The Outfield.
Uh-huh.
When we performed this live here in Iowa City last winter, I was told by Justin's folks that they saw this band play this song live. And ever since then, whenever we perform it, I think about that.
Good. Mom and Dad, if you're listening, Stella thinks about you every time she plays this song. So
shout out to Vicky.
Yeah, just know that she's thinking about you right now while she plays it. All right, and that's going to do it for us once they're done. So thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. Goodbye.
Great.
Just as on a vacation far away, come around and talk it over. So many things that I'd like to say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I ain't got any friends left to talk to. No one's around when I'm in trouble. You know I'll do anything for you. Stay the night, we'll keep it undercover. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Try to stop my hands from shaking. Something in my mind's not making sense. It's been a while since we've been all alone. I can't hide the way I'm feeling. As you leave me, please would you close the door and forget what I told you. Just 'cause you're right, that don't mean I'm wrong. Another shoulder to cry on. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Yeah, I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight.
KRUI. Yeah, it's that good.
You're listening to KRUI, Iowa City.